Hello, Pisces risings. This new moon in Libra for you is in your eighth house of shared resources, investments, contracts, basically how you share yourself with people. Okay. The new moon here is very transformative. It's also kind of abstract. It's a dark shadow house, meaning you're diving deep into who you are and what you want for yourself and how you share yourself with others, basically, how much investment you put into things. Now, Mercury and Venus are in your seventh house of relationships. And this is really getting honest with people in your life about what your goals are, about who you are, about what you want, about what drives you. This is about what drives you, okay? And being in integrity there and not wasting time on people or situations that are going to drain you, that are not worth the investment, and being very honest about that, okay? So yeah, the relationships are, you're being honest there with people in your sphere, but I think it's also more Mercury's trine Pluto in your 11th house of large groups of people. So it's also like being very honest about and into your integrity in regards to outward relationships, not necessarily like, say, your partners. It's like, I have experienced things over the last while that now I understand about myself in partnership and my own self-worth, and I need to be honest with the outer world about it and to make my goals, fashion my goals according to maybe my partnerships, according to how I see my life, how I see the future for myself. So yeah, being honest about your goals. For instance, if you are you want to be a comedian and that is your thing, and you're like, I've been driving towards that my entire life and I want to be a comedian, but that requires me to move around a lot and I also really want a home. So now I've got to be honest with the outer world that I'm going to be a comedian based in a certain place, and I don't really want to travel. Of course, that is a very crazy example, but it is definitely goal based for you. Like, you really need to tune into what your goals are and then think about that in terms of relationships, because there's definitely a lot going on there. And how you share yourself and what is worth the investment. And that's how you're fashioning your goals. So you may have to be honest with yourself too about what is worth the investment here. Jupiter's been in your second house of finances and self-worth, and you've taken a lot of action there. But now you're like, okay, now that I've got this greater sense of self-worth, how I need to make sure I'm investing it well. I'm sharing myself with who honors that about me. Okay. So here's the thing. Mars is also in your fourth house of home, family, emotional security. And there's going to be some redo going on there in the fall. Okay. Some research, which is interesting. So I would just be very open with your partners about, what it is you need, and what it is your goals are. And then also be very open with your network and, like, for instance, people you're working with and people who you're building these goals with about your partnerships and about what you want. This is about coming from a place of integrity and saying, I need to be paid well. I need this for my home. I need this for my investment. It's about being honest, and it does have a lot to do with finances. So that's it for you. I will come back October 9th for the full moon in your second house of self-worth and finances. I'm really excited about that for you, Pisces risings, because it could have a lot to do with home and building a new home in the future. We'll talk about that. But maybe a little frustration. I'll see you then. Yeah, I'll see you in a couple weeks. Mwah. As always, get a session if you need some very specific fine-tuning for your own chart. I'll see you then.